I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurrundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner, and I am here with 5 more books that I am not going to be reading, the TikTok edition. Now look, I'm going to be perfectly honest and say I don't do a deep dive into BookTok or romance BookTok. I post videos there and I have a few people that I follow, but I don't do a significant deep dive. But every now and then I come across videos recommending books that absolutely I'm just like, no, I'm not going there. So while I don't do negative videos all the time, I have done one other video where I've said 5 books that I'm not going to be reading. So we're going to do another edition of this, and this time it's going to be books that I see all the time on TikTok that I'm just, no, I'm not reading them. I will preface this by saying if you love these books, this is not an attack on you. This is my personal preference, my personal taste, and these sound like they would not be a good choice for me, so please do not be offended. If you feel like you're going to be offended, please skip this video because it is not for you. Alright, so jumping in with Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. I know this was huge on BookTube many years ago, particularly when I first started posting videos, and I know it is a beloved book. I have no interest in reading it. I'm pretty sure I've missed the bus on this one. It's new adult, it's kind of bully romance. Bully romances are a big no for me. And I have so many other books to read that I'm just not interested in this one. So people can keep bringing it up all they like. It's not happening. Next on my list is Anything by Colleen Hoover. It's funny because if I'm doing a random search on BookTok, and I very rarely do this, mostly because this happens and I hate it, they're like, here are my 5 best books that I've read this year. And 4 out of the 5 are Colleen Hoover books. Like, how could you know that they're the best ones that you've read? You clearly haven't read anything else. People may like Colleen Hoover, but please don't make that your personality trait, because there are so many other books out there that you could read that are fantastic. I've read one Colleen Hoover book and that was enough for me. I'm not going back for any more. The next thing that I see everyone recommending is the Zodiac Academy by, now what's their name? What are their names? Caroline Peckham and Susanne Valenti. Okay, apparently this is a paranormal romance set in an academy, like boarding like school, and you know, there's werewolves and vampires. Is it vampires? I don't know. Anyway, what it sounds to me is young adult masquerading as new adult, and it doesn't sound particularly good or appealing, and I think it just sounds slightly overdramatic, and I just don't want to go there. And you guys know I love paranormal romance and I love weird things, but this just sounds like, no, we'll skip it. I don't think I'm the right demographic for this book series. Next on my list is Normal People by Sally Rooney. It seems like, and look, I have not read Sally Rooney, so this is not a comment on the writing style of the books at all, because I know they're very popular. To me, this one sounds like a lot of people recommending it as romance when it's contemporary literary fiction with a romance element to it, but making that the whole thing, as if there isn't an entire genre of romance that is specifically romance and is not contemporary literary fiction. Maybe it's the romance for people who don't want to read romance, and that's totally fine. But if I want to read romance, I don't want to read literary fiction. Like, that's not where I want to go with this. I think there is a very clear distinction between contemporary literary fiction with romance and romance. And from what I've heard anyway, like, it doesn't appeal to me as a reader. I want to know what I'm getting from a book, and I feel like that would not suit my reading tastes. Just putting it out there. And then finally, one that I have seen recommended a little bit, this one probably not as much as the others, but I'm putting it out there anyway, is Lessons in Sin by Pam Godwin. Now, I have read a novella that takes place after Lessons in Sin, and I liked that fine. But Lessons in Sin is a taboo romance between a priest, and who I think is also a teacher, and his student. Given my circumstances, like, teacher-student is a massive no-no like, I know people love it. I am a teacher, and I cannot tell you how wrong and icky just the thought of that makes me feel. And so, one, I'm not going to touch that. Also, if you want to talk about the taboo nature of it being a priest, I've read Priest by Sierra Simone. That's where I get my priest fix. Like, I'm fine with that. That's my line in the sand, and that's totally fine. And as I said, I have read a story between the couple from the book, and it was fine. Like, it wasn't bad, but it also didn't make me want to read the series. And in fact, it just reinforced that I would probably really, really hate it. So we're not going there. All right, those are my 5 books / author. I mean, look, this video would be hours long if I listed all of the Colleen Hoover books, and we're just not going to go there. As I said, I don't normally film videos like this, but so just putting out there, if you're expecting to see some of these books, you will not see them here. In the comments, if you are on TikTok, What is a book that you see all the time that you have zero interest in reading? I mean, you're very welcome to share your reasons why, but you don't have to. You can just put the title of the book, because this is a no judgment zone. As I said at the start of this video, if you love these books, great. More power to you. Just don't expect me to talk about them. And in reverse, please don't feel like I'm going to be offended if you say that you are never going to read one of the books that I've read and loved, because totally no judgment. We all have our own preferences, and that is totally fine. If you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave a clock emoji down below. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.